Prior to the Second Continental Congress gathering in Philadelphia to declare our independence from England, there were several issues that built up to that. In 1774, Thomas Jefferson was appointed to committee in the House of Burgess to determine what was the most dangerous issue facing America. When you look at the issues that they faced then, they're almost identical to what we have today. The King of England was trying to transform the basic beliefs of liberty and the freedom of worship in the American colonies to what he derived and what he decided. We were beginning to rebel against that, but there was one problem that the founders faced. And that was what Thomas Jefferson and the committee determined. After they met to determine what was the most dangerous thing facing Americans, they determined it was a lethargic people. They called for a day of fasting, humiliation, and prayer on June the 1st, 1774, and Thomas Jefferson said that was like bolts of electricity surging through the colony, that men became on their center, alert and ready to defend their liberties. That, according to Thomas Jefferson, was the beginning of American Revolution. Just 2 years later, many of these same men were gathered in Philadelphia, Pennsylvania, to actually take the bold and decisive step of declaring our independence. And if you think about what they were facing the most powerful military force in the history of the world. But they knew something that the King of England and Parliament didn't know. That when you ignite the brush fires of freedom in the hearts of men and you empower them with rights and liberties, that they can overcome any obstacle that stands in the way. That's what we call American Exceptionalism. That we are willing to sacrifice all that we have, all that we can be in our very lives for the idea of a future generation to be free cannot be overcome by any force in the world, especially when you put your trust in God. The last line of our declaration exemplifies what American exceptionalism is, where it says, and in support of this declaration, with a firm reliance on the protection of divine providence, we mutually pledge to each other our lives, our fortunes, and our sacred honor. We are Americans because of what we believe and because it is in God that we trust. And that's where our moral values and our exemplary attitude comes from. America's best days are ahead of us if we reinstitute the ideas that were given to us by our founding fathers and rely upon our American exceptionalism and our faith in God to pull us through. Happy Independence Day.